They're professional lip readers trying to decipher what these people are saying to each other during the show. Hey, did you know that the Oscars, the Academy Awards, were on the other night? Hey, why are the Oscars and the Academy Awards still on after everything that has happened in the last 10-ish years? Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lena, and if you're new, thank you for stopping by. I hope I bring some value, and I hope that you consider subscribing. And if you are one of my subs in my beautiful community, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Listen, I was meandering through the YouTubes, and it came to my attention that apparently the Oscars were on the other night. And I have to tell you, I have not sat down and watched the Academy Awards, which is now what it's called, Oscars ceremony, not even the red carpet that was the prequel to the going into the theater and sitting there for 3 hours, God help them, and us viewers. Since I'm going to say as far back as somewhere in the early 2000s, I recall the last time I maybe plugged in, and I say the term loosely, for the what I think would be the time that they would give out the best movie, which is the last 15-20 minutes, is when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck won, and I believe Robin Williams was the one that presented the award because he was in the movie as well. I'll put it up here. And for the most part, I would never even sit through a majority. I would try to find something else because there was a time that we didn't have options where it would be social media to distract us and leave something playing in the background. That would be the last time that I fully recall watching it. I don't remember watching a red carpet event, probably a little bit after Joan Rivers passed away, where she would do the interviews on the red carpet and the best in dress and who you're wearing, I would sit through that a little bit and, wonder why some of the clothing that were being shoveled into our faces that is completely unattainable to us normal folks, that we will never be able to afford or even have a replica, affordable or not, look as realistic as what they were wearing, and some of the questionable fashions that were completely unattainable and unwanted for any person that would want to replicate those outfits. Spent many years looking at those outfits and saying, I don't think so. But I've never enjoyed the Oscars. Now, as a child growing up in the early 70s and 80s, again, we didn't have many options on television, nor did we have multiple televisions, or did we have smartphones. We barely had a phone. We had the rotary and push button, and then the cord that ran around the entire circumference of the house, so we can be in one room to another. And then the cordless came out, and it was like we won the lottery. So the Oscars would be on, and it would be more for my grandmother or my mother at that time, and they would have it on, and I don't remember them sitting through it either. My earliest recollection of the Oscars, as far as me paying attention to it, was when Sally Fields made this comment about, you like me. You really, really like me. And back then, I think it was in the 1980 to 84 range. So I was still young. So at that time I was watching it and I was like, at that time I asked my closest, Google.com, which is, Mommy, who the hell is she talking to? I didn't say it that way, but I did question because we didn't have Google back then. So whoever was next to you would be the person that you would ask, what does this mean? And that would be mostly the adults. Um, and I would turn around like, who is she speaking to when she says, you like me, you really, really like me. And of course, just like most, internet providers, that you can't trust everything that comes out of their mouth, even though you Google it, you chat GPT it, or you grok it, said, I have no clue. That was the most honest answer that I can get. She didn't even know who the hell she was talking to because, we didn't understand the complexity of what the Oscars and the nominations and the committee that was involved. For the most part, I grew up just trying to figure out why did any of the movies that I watched, that I would go to the actual theater, the movie theater, back then it was an event, never were ever nominated or won or would win awards that were not related directly to the experience, like best editing, music, some other thing, for years. Because again, it wasn't that the Oscars were my life. I wasn't in that genre. I wasn't in that lifestyle. Whether a movie won or not, it didn't affect me personally. I did question why these movies that I first never heard of, second, when I was growing up, were not allowed to go and see. So I couldn't even understand that part. I would think that my mother would be the more, in tune to that, but she would watch it and she would be like, okay, whatever. So it wasn't something that was talked about after you watched it, you turned it off, you moved on with your life, and you went to the movie theater for the rest of the year. Now, when I was growing up, I do remember when the ticket prices to a movie, the closest I remember, it was either between $3 to $5 for a ticket. You could actually go see a movie for less than $8, which included the concession. And again, back then, we didn't have anything else other than television, radio, and movies. And there were a variety of movies. There was comedy, there was horror, there was, romance, there was, we didn't have the big Marvel, MCU, DCU theatrical until, Batman, Tim Burton's Batman came out. But there was different types of movies. So you can literally spend, excuse me, I have a cold. You can spend weekends going to the theater, movie theater, and enjoying a variety of different types of movies. Those were the heydays of movie making. I'm going to make a separate video of the theater experience of what it was like. Let's focus on the movies. So you had different movie posters. You can take a date and not spend, half your rent on taking the date. There was a lot of different lines. I mean, it was a great time. Maybe the experience in the theater was great, but nonetheless, you don't miss what you don't know. So back then we didn't know that we can have streaming options or being at home. So you're bored, weekends, movie theaters, options, fantastic. Now, half these Oscar winning movies were out, maybe, but I wasn't paying attention to most of them. I would go see what I wanted to go see. Even after the Academy Award would win the award, it wouldn't propel me to go and watch it. Just didn't. Because if I'm not interested, I don't care. Okay. That was for the majority. Even when I was watching the Oscars, you know that there's a moment in the Oscars where they bring out this guy that's supposed to be the person that validates the votes. I don't know. They make some stupid, it's always a stupid, trying to be a funny moment where all the voting and tabulations are audited professionally by whatever the company was. I would remember a little bit of the jokes that were made every time one of these people would come out, and the few times that I would watch it, and it normally happens somewhere in the middle, something. And it never occurred to me what it would take to win an Oscar. I'm going to be honest with you. I was a ding dong. I really thought that it was based on the general public and how well it did in the theaters. And, the people that paid to go see the movies, it never occurred to me that it was what it has turned out to be. So the first remnants of me understanding the Oscars, sadly, was when Harvey Weinstein hoopla, outside of what he's been accused of with the allegations, not even, he's been indicted, he's in jail. Okay, they're not allegations. Okay. You guys, if you don't know who Harvey Weinstein is, please look him up. I'm not going to get into it right now. But he played a major role of me understanding not just what he did on the assault side, but how the academy actually works, right? I didn't realize that this whole academy thing was peer to peer. Actors voting for actors, directors voting for directors, and you have to be nominated to be in the group in order to vote on these movies, categories, all of this stuff. Has nothing to do with box office, has nothing to do with the general public, has nothing to do with popularity. You could make $1 billion on a movie and you will not be nominated if it's not part of what it is that they're doing in that voting group. Okay? Academy Award members. Okay? That's why a lot of the movies that I would normally watch are never even part of the genre that they're picking. I'm like, what? Really? I watched it. I thought it was great. So once all that started to come out and the lengths that he would take to steer his movies to the voters who are peer to peer. Please understand, these are actors voting for actors, directors voting for directors. You have to be in the industry as a professional in order to become an Academy Award member to vote to give this Oscar out. Okay. And this is why I brought up the Sally Fields. You like me. You really like me. Because now it started to click. The lengths that he would go to push his movies to be voted on and the length of the smear campaigns that he would do to discredit other people, directors, actors, movies. Now, I'm reading all this and it's legitimately doesn't surprise me. You did it to yourselves. I'm sorry, but you did. Are you honestly going to tell me that if this is a peer-to-peer and you got this maniac running around, other than what he's been indicted for years he's doing this, and y'all didn't want to step up and say something? And I'm saying years. And they all knew. All being everybody who was in the nomination, in that room, in the Oscars. And it's like, I don't have any sympathy for you because somehow, and I'm sorry to say, they thought they were going to get something out of it if they didn't open their mouths. You're going to tell me this man ruled the world for that long? Honestly. Because it's extensive. It's extensive. And I have zero respect for the Academy Awards. Zero. Zero. To the point that I didn't even know it was on. I didn't know until somebody I follow was talking about the Oscars. I'm like, that's still running? Really? And now, I don't care who the hell wins anymore because nothing I watch or I put my money into or I have the ability to vote on is going to make a dent in this voting palooza. I don't even care what they're wearing, who they're wearing, what they're doing. And now, the red carpet is a disaster because now they have influencers interviewing at the red carpet the actors and the actresses before they go in. And I don't even understand that. Because these influencers are not trained, coached, nothing. Now, the reasoning behind it, from what I am understanding, could be to draw in the younger viewers. Here's the thing. Sounds great. Not in theory. maybe in your head, your loco poco tuku tuku, but you might get some who watch the influencer make a fool of themselves on the red carpet for like a minute. But at the end of the day, if you do not have the movies that they're watching, they're not going to sit and watch a 3-hour show about stuff that they do not care about. Doesn't matter who the hell it is, because you can only get them so far. You can only take the horse to drink the water, but you can't make them drink. Okay? So even the red carpet is a shit show. Sorry for my language. And the viewership has dropped significantly since the heyday, more than 50%. And now, the best part, guess what? After it makes 100 years on, network television, which I believe is in 2 years. I believe this was the 98th Academy Award. I don't know. I know after 100, when it's the 101 Academy Awards, it's going to stream solely on YouTube. And she's excited? No. Because, as a content watcher, you know what's going to make me do? Scroll past the thumbnail. I will not be watching it. If I don't watch it on network television, you think I'm going to watch it on YouTube? As a content creator, great. I would say it's more competition, but I don't know how that's going to go. They're throwing everything at it to make it work, except for the one thing that is the most important thing. Well, two. You got to make movies that people watch and want to watch. And two, I think it's time that you let go of the peer-to-peer aspect of it. I'm sorry, but there's something not good about that. I can't explain it. There's something in my bones. It's weird. That's why Sally Fields is talking to her peers who voted for her, not to the audience who went to see the movie or pay ticket prices to go and sit through it. She's talking to her peers. Now, it's okay if you want to do that, great. It's nothing wrong with if you want your peers to, like you, if that's what it is. But do you need for us to sit there and watch it and we have no say in the voting process? None of the movies that if I can remember 2 or 3 movies that I legitimately watched and can say that won an Academy Award, I will put it up. And that would be a fluke because it wasn't something that I voted on. I really don't care if your peers like you. Not Sally Fields. She's great, whatever. But then watch. Okay. This is what threw me over the edge. This is what made me put this video up. Timothy Chalamet, who was up for an Academy Award, who did not win. I want to say he's with Kylie Jenner, one of the Kardashian sisters. They all look the same to me at this point. They're professional lip readers trying to decipher what these people are saying to each other during the show. One, that is extremely creepy behavior. Okay? Creepy. Because now we have people who are read my lips, trying to figure out what people are saying. Because I don't know who is so desperate. Why are we so desperate? Why are we idolizing this? Okay? It is creepy that I cannot say anything. I can't even if I say something, I would have to presume that maybe that person misunderstood the tone or maybe didn't read it right. And second, how do you get that job? How do you get that job? What do you need to do? What is your qualifications? I'd like to know. It is it's one of the most stalker things anyone can do. And it's all over the internet. It's all over the YouTubes. It's all over the TikToks, all over the Instagrams, even on the news. You have professional. I'm like, and no one is saying, can we please stop? Can we please stop trying to lip read people? Can you, first of all, this whole situation is very uncomfortable. I can't imagine, first of all, having to put myself in that position and sit there, and they're not allowed to get up anytime to use the bathroom in this whole stint. And they left that place worse than a garbage dump anywhere in New York City. I don't know when they were eating. I don't know how, because I didn't watch the show. I don't remember watching the Oscars and people drinking and eating during, or they're panning over to them. But they left that place as if no one gave a ding dong. Okay. And the last part to this rant is the bull crap of the different stance that anyone wants to take, whether it's ice out ice, I stand for this, I don't stand for that, I hate this, I hate him, her, it, that, diversity, woke, agendas, all of that. It's gotten worse because there's a history to this during the Oscars. A lot of these actors take this platform and decide that they're going to say what they need to say for whatever reason, for whatever how, or whatever. It's been a long-standing thing, okay? But when I want to watch an entertainment to get myself out of what is really happening, this is not entertainment. Not from the MC, Miss Bob Hope. I do remember the monologues from Bob Hope. I don't know how. I don't know when. But there were a few times I would listen to his monologue because I was forced to watch the show. And I always liked Bob Hope. Now, I don't want to sit through anyone, whether it's the MC, the actor, the people accepting for the actor, whatever the hell is going on, leave it at the door. This is supposed to be your peers, for your whatever you're doing in this movie that no one other than people in the academy watched, because the real people did not go out and see it, a majority of them, and they're not even seeing the Oscars award. Now I have to listen to your side of whatever you feel that you want to put on a soapbox as if you're running for something. Where's the value in that? And then these long-winded speeches, and it's like, get up there, thank your family, thank whatever deity you want to believe or not thank him, thank your peers, goodbye. Next. There's no reason why this show is 3 hours. Other than fluff and stuff, push out as much commercials and ads as possible. And you really think people smartened up. People smartened up. So good luck on YouTube. I still don't understand why this award ceremony is on after everything has come to light, even the Weinstein Chronicles, even this new way of doing things. They should just give up the ghost or have a better way of tabulating popular movies that people actually go out and watch, which, by the way, are not that many. Let's be honest. And yes, I do believe, and maybe I'll turn off a lot of people, that some of the, not all, MCU movies or in that genre should be nominated for something, because I'm a fan. Not just on the MCU, I'm a comic fan. I am. And it's a movie. And some of them are done really well. Not all. I'm not saying throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. But I really feel that some of them was pretty good. You know, I still can rewatch it today and be like, you know what? Captain America: Winter Soldier, one of my favorite movies. I'm going to tell you that was probably the best one out of all of them for me, even at the, end of, what is it, the Avengers Endgame. I would put Winter Soldier up there first. We don't have enough variety. Spy movies, international movies that are really good, like, a good mystery, a good romance. Where's the romance? And no, there's not any. Okay. There's horror, horrible, and then whatever the hell they got else out there. That's not a choice, you know? And start with a variety of movies. Let other movies that actually made box office bank to make people feel that they've put in their money to go see it or watch it or whatever, have a chance to be voted on. Because I know a lot of these Academy Award members feel like these types of movies are not valid movies. Okay, sure. But are you the only one that feels that way? Because I'm going to tell you something. I didn't watch a single one of these movies that were nominated. Not. Let's start off with, I didn't even know the movie that Timothy Chalamet was in. First time I heard it. First time. I was like, wasn't he just in Dune? He made another movie? Am I crazy? I, Talk about, and what's so weird is that we're so in touch with the internets now. I find it hard to believe that I didn't even know this movie existed because everything is everywhere all at once. Yeah, that's my movie reference for you. So, did you watch the Oscar? First of all, let's start off with the three-pronged question. Did you know the Oscars was on? Did you watch the Oscars? Why? Why? Am I crazy to think that it's time to let go of this whole setup and just let it die? Let it go. After 100 years, be like, hey, you know, maybe we'll revisit this some other time, but right now let's just make movies to make movies and have some fun. Don't put on this pressure on having to put on some, popular, designer and walk the red carpet and not eat for 13 days and get harassed on the red carpet by influencers that don't understand the movies. And then I have to sit for 3 hours while I can't go to the bathroom and I can't even I don't even have a garbage pail to toss out whatever it is that they're giving them at the Oscars. And then pretend that I'm happy that I'm nominated, but when they pan to me and I don't win, I have to, well, I'm like inside for 3 minutes, and then the ones that do win run up to the stage and they're talking about stuff that are not related to the movie, and then that's it. The movie's over. The show's over. And then I got to start this rhetoric all over again the next year. Just stop. After 100 years, just keep it cool, dude. You want to have your own private ceremony? Good. I think that some of this stuff is all fluff. And, if you really want to be on a soapbox and you really want to do better for the environment, the country, the people, blah, 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 Charlie Brown, take the money that you would have spent on whatever you're wearing or this whole event that costs a lot of money, and put it back into the industry, into the people who don't have jobs, and walk the walk. Just don't walk the talk and bullshit us. Because I can't fathom that we're going under this entire stress around the country, okay, around the world, and yet the Oscars are still here. And look what I'm wearing. And look whose I'm wearing. And look how much Ozempic I'm taking. And look how skinny I am. And look how pretty I am. And I have to go now. Bye bye. Seriously. Am I wrong? You could tell me I'm wrong. You could tell me whatever you want. It's my choice to actually respond and converse with you. And that's what I'm saying. We need choices. The Oscars are not a choice. They're in their own little world, in their own little box, in their own little academy, in their own little voting tabulation that has nothing to do with the people who are investing in these movies, if you even go to watch them. Hello? So tell me how you felt. Tell me how you really feel about this whole thing. My three-pronged question. Did you know? Did you watch? And can you explain to me why is this still on? Why do you feel that we still need this? So I hope that you enjoyed this and it brought some light. I'm not putting my thoughts about anything else other than my experience with the Oscars. This is not a breakdown on, how many years it's been. And This is just my experience with this whole process. So tell me your experience with it. And if I brought value to you and you want to continue watching me, I hope you consider subscribing to my lovely community because I have amazing people here. And for everyone who has been watching and commenting and supporting and liking and sharing and hyping, I cannot thank you enough. Really, I can't, because otherwise you will be smothered. So I have a next video coming up on movie theaters. Yeah, that's coming. Please hold. Don't go away. It'll be coming hopefully in the next day or so. And I want to thank everyone. And I want you to have a blessed day, a blessed night, a blessed weekend, a blessed week, a blessed month, a blessed year. And from here to around the world that I reach, thank you, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.